Welcome to Lindale, Texas, at Eagles Stadium, home of the Lindale Eagles, as we get ready for this District 9 4A Division I matchup between the Chapel Hill Bulldogs and the Lindale Eagles. Hello, everybody. I'm Logan Ward. Alongside me is Brett Sweeney, and we have 1-0 versus 1-0 in district play right now, and this one is a huge game already. Second week of this season, and this is going to have some big implications already.
What was that word you said, Logan?
Big.
Huge.
Yeah.
I could say that, definitely. You know, we got two ways to look at this game. Lindale wants to prove that they're still the team they were last year in this game, coming off to a slow start at 2-3. 1-0 in district, though. Chapel Hill has a little revenge factor on their mind after getting beat by Lindale twice. Their season ending in a big way against Lindale last year in the playoffs. So should be a really good game tonight.
So Lindale has won the toss and will receive. They want the ball to start this one. Mike Brett said last year Lindale, state finalist, beat Chapel Hill twice, once in district and then once in the third round of the playoffs. And honestly, in those two games, it was the Lindale defense that held Chapel Hill, bottled them up. Chapel Hill scored 13 points combined in those two games, and that's unfamiliar territory for Coach Reardon and this Chapel Hill team.
Yeah, definitely this year for sure. They've been on fire so far, starting with the 5-0 record. And Lindale's had Chapel Hill's number. Over the last 5 games, Chapel Hill has only won 1 out of those 5, the last win coming in 2013. So it's been a while since Chapel Hill's beaten Lindale.
So this one's a big one for Chapel Hill. They had this one circled on their calendar at the beginning of the season, probably at the end of last season. The next day after their playoff loss, probably circled this one on the calendar.
Yep.
And here we are, and we are getting ready for kickoff. Adolfo Tamayo, the big leg. Adolfo Tamayo will kick off for Chapel Hill, and we'll get this one started. Back to receive for Lindale is Jacob Siegford, and he's going to watch this one go into the end zone for a touchback.
It'll be interesting to see a little bit different on these two sides of the ball. You know, Lindale minus Jordan Jenkins on offense. It'll be interesting to see how their offense differs from last season. And then Chapel Hill's resurgent defense under Craig McFarland this year has just been a force. They've given up some scores late when they've kind of gotten in a big lead. But for the most part, they've been pretty stout against the run, which kind of gave them some trouble last season.
So here we are, the first snap. Cody Swam, he's in motion in the run. Gains of about 3 on the play. Gain of a couple. And Siegford is lined up in the running back position. That's something a little different this year. Of course, like Brett said, trying to replace Jordan Jenkins, the Division I player who went to Baylor. Siegford on the end around, he's got a little bit of a hole, and Brack Dyer is able to take him down, bring up 3rd and short. Jordan Jenkins now at Baylor, and last year it was all Jordan Jenkins. Was maybe, I believe, the 4A player of the year last year.
He was impressive. We got to see him several times last season, even against Kilgore in the playoffs, and just amazing runner. And look to see a lot of Brack Dyer tonight, too. He's the leading tackler for this Bulldog team. So,
man in motion for Lindale, and they're going to throw it out. It's the first pass for Sam Peterson, and it's complete, good enough for a first down. Peterson, the senior quarterback, gets it out to Cody Swam, and gets that first down. Sam Peterson, quarterback last year, is able to play in Cowboys Stadium and get that experience. A lot of this Lindale team is still here. They were a young team last year, had a lot of juniors on the squad, and now back for their senior year. 1st and 10 now. Handoff goes near side, and he's tripped up. Daniel Waddington trips him up for a loss of about 4 on the play. And like you said, Brett, this Chapel Hill defense is a lot different than the defense that Lindale played last year.
Yeah, that's the 2 big differences. Definitely the defense at Chapel Hill has definitely gotten stronger, and you just don't see Jordan Jenkins type player too often. So he's a once in a generation talent that comes through. So it'll be interesting to see how Lindale uses. Looks like they're using Siegfried a lot more, trying to get his abilities. That we saw him last year do some things at receiver, but we'll see what he's got
Second
tonight.
and 14. Handoff, stretch play on the far side. He's got some room. That's Judson Long on the carry and gets back across the original line of scrimmage and gained about 6. There is a flag on the play, and where it is, it's probably going to be holding in this area.
Yeah, it's probably going to come back there. Tough break for Lindale, though. That was a good run there, about 10 yards.
Lindale's a pink out game tonight. A lot of pink in the stands, and of course you see the pink on the players. Lindale wearing their blue tops with their gray pants and white helmets. Chapel Hill in white on white with the kind of gradient helmet. Goes from blue to white on their helmets. So it looks a little weird.
Little fade. That's like a little fade. It's a
got
fade.
that gradient down the side of their helmets. And this is going to be 2nd and 23 now for the Lindale offense. For fifth-year head coach Chris Cochran. Last year's state championship appearance, the first in Lindale school history, and we're going to get a timeout for Lindale. They didn't like the play call, didn't like the setup, so they're going to take a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with them. You're watching Texas High School Football on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. After the timeout, it's still 2nd and 23. Peterson going to fake the handoff and roll around, and he has nobody open, just throws it out of bounds. Incomplete.
Intended for the cheerleading squad on the sideline, I think. Good smart move, though. Didn't take the sack, just got rid of it, lived for another down.
And that's what happens when you're in the offense for a while and you play 15 games last year. You get kind of familiar with the offense and smart enough to make the play. Sometimes the best play is no play.
Yep.
So it brings up 3rd and 23. And I don't remember Lindale being in 3rd and 23 or 3rd and long much last year in this ball game.
Well, because when you get that first down carry with Jenkins, you don't usually end up in this position.
Peterson trying to find someone, throws it across field, and that is caught, but it's going to be short of the first down.
It's going to be close, though.
It's actually at the 42-yard line, so about 4 yards. Yeah, that's about 4 yards, about 4th and 4.
Brings up 4th down.
And we'll see. It looks like they're bringing on the punt unit. Sam Peterson is the punter for this Lindale team, so always got to be careful with this, but it looks like it's going to be a standard punt formation. Back to receive for Chapel Hill's number 3, Solomon McFoy. High arcing kick hits at the 20-yard line and going to bounce towards the sideline and spotted. It's going to be right there at the 14-yard line, so a good punt from Sam Peterson. Flips field position.
That'll bring out this potent Chapel Hill offense. Their junior quarterback, Tyler Jones.
Tyler Jones in the gun. This is new for. It's going to be a penalty already.
Ooh, not the way you want to start the possession if you're the Bulldogs.
False start, didn't get set, I guess, correctly, so that's 5 yards. So move Chapel Hill back just a little bit. And this Tyler Jones, of course, is new to the rivalry. Hasn't been seen here by this Lindale defense, and he's been pretty efficient. That's all I can say about Jones, efficiency.
Yeah,
61 for 80. I mean, that is an incredible stat line.
It was perfect last week. Quarterbacks
were 10
perfect.
for 10.
There was 12 for 12 because you had two guys throw the ball that weren't quarterbacks. So they were 12 for 12 at the quarterback. It's pretty efficient. I don't know if you can get much better than that.
The handoff, that was the freshman Ricky Stewart gets that 5 yards back. So now it's 2nd and 10. 8:23 remaining in the first quarter as the clock's ticking here in the first. Little end around. This one's to Solomon McFoy. He's got some blockers across the 25. Pushed out of bounds at the 34-yard line is Solomon McFoy. So good first down there for Chapel Hill.
We'll talk about it a lot tonight, Logan, but this Chapel Hill offense has so many weapons that they can run in and out of the game. Not to mention the 4 guys wide at receiver. Any of those guys touch the ball, whether it's with the run or the pass catch, they're a weapon and a threat to score on any play.
Tyler Jones in the gun. Ricky Stewart to his left. Barry with a little handoff, trying to find some space. Barry
nice
has
block.
the outside. Tyson Barry crossed midfield, still on his feet. Inside Lindale territory. We'll see where they spot it. I think they're going to spot it around the 42-yard line.
Again,
of the Lindale Eagles.
That's 3 different guys carrying the ball, 2 receivers with an end around, and then Stewart. I mean, if you're Lindale, you got to wonder who's going to get the ball next.
1st and 10. They're trying to move fast. Ricky Stewart has nowhere to go. Great defensive play there by the Lindale Eagles.
Lindale had that one shored up there. They were in the backfield with Stewart.
Colton Weidman there on the tackle, and he was a name that we called time and time again last year for this Lindale team. Comes back his senior year and making some plays happen here, and that was a big one. Brings up 2nd and 15 for this Chapel Hill offense. Jones back to pass, trying to find his man, throws it down to Deuce McGregor, and that is caught on the sideline. Incomplete.
Oh, that was very close.
I think he couldn't keep possession as he hit the ground, and the ball came out.
You mentioned Weidman. I actually have a tie with this young man. I actually went to school with his mother, graduated with her. So I ran into her before the game. Shout out to Candace. So, it's kind of weird seeing him in Lindale. I went to school at Chapel Hill with his mom, but he's a great talent on defense. He's all over the place, that's for sure.
Brings up 3rd and 15. Screen pass to Samari Willis on the far side, and he's not going to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Lindale had that kind of just where they're going to give him 5 yards and then corralled him and make the tackles. Good to see Samari back on the field as he didn't play last game. He got kind of injured the game before, so it's good to see him back out there. Got those ankles taped up, I can see, pretty heavily.
6:47. The clock is still ticking, and this Chapel Hill offense is still on the field. Back to pass, trying to find a man open. There's a flag. Throws it downfield to Deuce McGregor, wide open, falls inside the 5-yard line. There's a flag on the play, and I think it's going to be holding.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to come back, and that seems to be a big thing with Deuce this year. Notice on how many big plays he's had that have been called back from penalties.
Call back, and that will probably change Coach Reardon's decision to go for it on 4th down. And now this is going to be 4th and quite a while.
And they may still line up as Tyler Jones is the punter as well, so they may line up and try to keep Lindale from keeping someone back and then kind of rugby punt it, possible option here. I can't imagine him going for it here, but we'll see.
And Tyler Jones going to just get the punt. And it bounces towards the Lindale side, and Austin Watkins downs it at about the 24. So that's where the Eagles will take over. So Sam Peterson came into this game. He was 6th in East Texas in passing. Has already thrown for over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns on the year. His handoff goes to Patrick Daniels, the sophomore running back. Gain about 2 yards. Daniels had a massive game last week against Maybank. Carried the ball 23 times for 135 yards.
It's a nice game.
In that Maybank win.
They kind of start off slow in that game and ended up kind of blowing it out there towards the end of the game. Maybank's a lot better team than we thought coming into the season.
Peterson with the keeper. Tackled at the 32-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd and short now.
It's going to be interesting to see who kind of gets that first momentum. Right now it's kind of gone back and forth. You know, Lindale got the ball, tried to move it, couldn't. Chapel Hill moved it a little bit, then a couple penalties put it back. So it's going to be a big momentum swing if someone can break through with a big play.
5:13 remaining here in the first quarter. Judson Long motions in. Peterson with the keeper. Football's out, and Isaiah Brooks is going to fall on it.
Wow, big play. That's that momentum shifter I was just alluding to. Let's see if Chapel Hill can take advantage of it.
Jatavian Watson came in on the tackle and knocked it out of the hands of Peterson, and Chapel Hill is going to take over possession inside Lindale territory. And this Chapel Hill defense, we talked about it, is much improved, and honestly, they're a lot more opportunistic. They've caused a lot of turnovers this year. They've had, I believe, 5 interceptions, and this is now the 5th fumble recovery they've had all year.
A couple of them returned for touchdowns. Last week we saw
2 INT pick sixes for the Chapel Hill defense.
That's been the big difference in this team and last year's team. They still have the offensive talent, but the defense has stepped up when they needed to.
So Chapel Hill offense trying to capitalize on the Lindale mistake. Jones trying to find some room in the defense of that Lindale Eagles. They collapse on Jones.
Looks like Weidman again in there leading the way for Lindale.
That defensive front for the Lindale Eagles.
And it's tough to contain Jones because he's got a little bit of escapability, but they had him swarm that time, didn't give him anywhere to go.
Great job there by the Lindale defense and that Lindale defensive front. .422, and now it's 2nd and 20 after the 10-yard sack. Screen pass, and that's Black. Colton Weidman's all over the place right now.
There he is again. It's like the 3rd or 4th time we've called his name already. Big play after big play for Weidman.
I was watching Weidman on that play, and he got around that offensive lineman so quick, and then realized it was a screen, but he still made the play.
It didn't matter. He was
what a job.
He was so far in the backfield, Jones couldn't throw it over the top of him.
So that's going to stop the clock at 4:15, and it's 3rd and 20.
This will be big for Lindale after the turnover if they were able to hold Chapel Hill to a punt. They're getting loud here on the Lindale side.
And whistles, flag on the far side.
Maybe another delay again, or a false start penalty.
Yep, false start, moving back 5 more, so it's going to be 3rd and 25 now. This is not the situation that you want to be in if you're this Chapel Hill offense, getting behind the sticks on both possessions.
No, and they've had some troubles in some games this season with the penalties. It seems like the games that they've had trouble with the penalties, it's really hurt them. And the games they were able to shore those up, they were able to take care of the teams a lot easier. So it'll be interesting to see if they can shore up those penalties and move the ball down the field.
3rd and 25, and you don't have a lot on your call sheet for this. Ricky Stewart trying to find any space and can't. Loss of 2 on the play. His Lindale defense has come to play.
Yeah, they have. There was nowhere for Stewart to go. He was just
a host of Lindale Eagles on the tackle.
He was in trouble. There was nowhere. Even the shifty as he is, he wasn't able to get out of that.
So the punt unit will come on for Chapel Hill.
I'd say right now.
Great job for that Lindale defense.
Yeah, I'd say the line right now, Lindale's winning the line battle. They're getting whatever they want. push-wise.
That was a big factor in last year's meetings between these two. Jones, nice punt. This one's going to be caught and going nowhere. Gain of a couple on the play. That was Brett Maya on the return for the Lindale Eagles. So the turnover, nothing doing. I mean, Lindale's pretty much exactly where they were at when they.
That's what we talked about, the momentum shift. It shifted a little bit there with Chapel Hill recovering the fumble, but then Lindale was able to gain it back with a couple big plays by Weidman on defense, forced Chapel Hill back to punt. So it's kind of back to square one. Still 0-0 with only 3 minutes to go in the quarter here, and it's anybody's game.
Daniels, the sophomore, with the hole. Daniels, cross midfield. One man to beat, and Demetrius Bribson tracks him down. But that's good enough for a Eagles first down, and now it's the first red zone possession of the game.
Yeah, it's a nice run there. Found that hole in Chapel Hill's defense that's kind of been shored up this season. You hadn't seen many of those kind of right up the middle runs, but that time Lindale was able to find a gap and broke a big one there.
Clock's at 3 minutes now. Lindale knocking on the door. Their first score. Jacob Siegford in a running back, and Peterson's going to keep the ball again. Finds a little bit of a space. It's a nice gain, about 4 or 5 on the play.
Taken down by number 7, J.K. Davis. 4-yard gain. Second down, 6 to go.
Be interesting to see here if Chapel Hill can hold them to a field goal attempt, or if they can.
Peterson has some space. Peterson inside the 10.
First and goal now. Peterson's made some nice runs tonight. He's not the fastest of quarterbacks, but he's good at finding the holes and kind of just, following his blockers. Sometimes that's all you've got to do, especially with the line playing as well as they are for Lindale tonight.
Daniels on the carry. Can't get it in the end zone. Ball spotted at the 2-yard line.
Down by number 44, Brock Dyer.
There's Dyer again on the tackle for the Bulldogs.
So it's second and goal. Ball at the 2-yard line. And off to Daniels, and he's going to get into the end zone for a Lindale touchdown.
Nice drive there for Lindale, and Daniels was a big key in that drive with that big long run.
So the Eagles strike first with 1:24 remaining in this first quarter, and it looks like they're lined up to go for 2, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Peterson's going to roll out, try to find some space, dive in, and that's a 2-point conversion.
Wow. Risky
Smart play call there.
Get it risky, but it works.
Get it into the hands of your senior leader and let him make the decision. Lindale takes a 8-0 lead here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Here at Big Tex Homes, we are a real estate solution company committed to serving the needs of the people. We're here to help and solve all your real estate needs, whether that be buying, selling, foreclosure, tax liens, probate short sales, or maybe a landlord that doesn't know what to do with a property. If you need this help, call us today at 903-472-0220 or visit our website at www.bigtexhome.com.
So Lindale strikes first. And Seth Baggett will kick off for Lindale. Tyson Berry and Deuce McGregor. They're going to switch some things up. It's going to be
like Mayfield.
Javen Mayfield back there. We'll see what they do, and it's going to be a little onside squib kick over to Tyson Berry. Berry's going to try to find some sort of hole. He versus field and is tackled. I think that's Brett Maya on the tackle.
It's just a tough play when you're running sideways like that. Just didn't work out for him that time. Be interesting to see how Chapel Hill comes out here. You got to think it's
a big possession already in the game.
I know they've had a couple possessions that hadn't really gone a whole lot. They've had some penalties that have hurt. It's interesting to see if the line can protect Tyler Jones and give him enough time to get it to the playmakers on the outside.
2 wide receivers both sides for the Chapel Hill offense. Brooks trying to find some space. Brooks stays on his feet and still loses about a yard on the play. Maybe 2.
He didn't go down easily, but he still had to run over 2 guys, and he still lost a yard. Lindale was all over that play as well.
So it's 2nd and 11 now for the Bulldogs with 1:09 remaining in this first quarter. Back to pass. Jones looking right, trying to find some space, and throws it away.
Oh, that's going to be a flag.
And it's going to be knocked out of bounds. So this is going to be very interesting.
I believe it's going to be intentional grounding.
But I don't know if
I think to me, it looked like he tried to throw it, and it kind of got deflected out of his hand when he threw it. We'll see what they call, but it's going to be intentional grounding. I mean, he was in the pocket, and he threw it almost.
Well, it depends on where he was because the pockets, doesn't go on forever behind, so it depends on if he was out of that spot. But, the ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. So.
No, there's no way. It didn't get back. There wasn't anybody there. So I don't see how this is not a penalty. The only thing that it could be is if they ruled he threw it backwards, and it could be ruled a fumble.
Yeah, and then it would have be Lindale's ball because we
did it go
Chapel Hill.
Did it go in the end zone?
Yeah,
and went out of bounds?
Patted it out of the bounds.
Would that be a safety if it goes out of the end zone?
We'll see. This is going to be an interesting call.
Lindale likes it, whatever it is. Coach is excited about it. Let's see what they call.
On the offense, number 4. That penalty is declined. The ball went out of bounds behind the goal line. That results in a safety.
Yep. So they ruled, I guess he threw it backwards. So it was a fumble. So then when it rolled out of the end zone, it's an automatic safety.
So it's going to be 10-0, and Lindale's going to get the ball.
Man. We had the game last week in the Chapel Hill Athens game, and we talked about how Chapel Hill came out and couldn't have scripted a better start. I'd say we're in the complete opposite end if you're Coach Reardon. This is a disaster on your side. The game's not over by any means, but this is not how he wanted to start this game.
So the Chapel Hill punt unit's going to be on the kickoff unit's going to be on the field, and Lindale will get the ball back with 59 seconds in the first quarter, already up 10-0.
And looking to have great field position here. We basically a free kick from the 20. Usually they'll punt it, but you've got Tamayo, so he's got a good leg. So
yeah, I'm sure you're playing field position here. You got to boot this.
Yeah, Tamayo's going to use every bit of that leg he's got. He's been kicking those 60-yard field goals online. So he can kick the ball deep. We'll see just how deep he can kick it.
Daniels back to receive for the Eagles. Tamayo going to boot this one. And it's going to hit the ground.
Kind of
around the 25. And he's got a wide open lane. And Daniels inside Chapel Hill territory, spotted at the 28.
Yep. There was a gap about a room as big as that L out there for Eagle. There was nobody up the middle. Now, if you're Chapel Hill and you're the defense right now, you need a stop. The big Mo is on Lindale's side right now, and they need something to derail that. If you're Lindale, you're looking to put some distance between yourself and Chapel Hill really early in this game and putting some stress on their offense.
Siegfried running back, and Peterson's going to keep it. And he's holding on tight to that ball right now. Still gains a first down inside the 15-yard line.
Just a smart run. I mean, 2 hands on the ball, follows his blockers, nothing fancy at all. But read the defense, pulled it, called his own number, and picked up big yards.
Daniels with the carry. Jatavian Watson on the stop, and it's gained about 1.
Nice wrap up there by Watson.
They're going to say no gain, so now it's 2nd and 10.
This is definitely a big possession for both sides. Early in this game here. Looks like Lindale may not snap it. They may just, well, we'll see.
5 seconds now, and they're going to get one last snap before the end of the first quarter. Jones trying to find some room and can't. That Chapel Hill defensive line did a good job there. Gain of about 1 on the play, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. So Lindale came out and has played extremely well here in this first quarter. They lead the number 4 team in the state 10-0 at the end of 1 here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Wooden Bean, your locally owned drive-through coffee shop, is centrally located in Chapel Hill, diagonally across from the high school. Priding themselves in providing exceptional service and amazing drinks. From your standard coffee to lattes to signature cold brews, they have something for everyone. Teas, light fare breakfast, and a Red Bull fizz that would kickstart any morning. If you haven't been out to see them, today is the day. Can't miss them. They're in the blue shipping container, and their baristas are looking forward to fixing up something just for you. Come on in and drive through.
We start the second quarter with Lindale already up 2 scores and looking to add another.
It's a big play right here to open the quarter.
3rd and 9. And a really big play call here for Coach Cochran. Patrick Daniels motions over. Fake handoff, and pass is incomplete on that far side, intended for Evan Alford.
Wow.
And
it's like a field goal attempt coming.
Yeah, the field goal unit's going to come on, so this could be a big possession for the Chapel Hill defense if they can hold them to 3.
So you're thinking 3 points, it's 13-0. The way this game's gone, 2 touchdowns, and we know Chapel Hill can do that quickly. That's it. So after all that's happened, this would be huge if they only allow a field goal.
Seth Baggett, the freshman, comes on to attempt the field goal, and it's good. Lindale extends their lead to 11:52 remaining in the first half. Lindale leads 13-0.
Aaron Murphy with Century 21 is on your team assisting with buying or selling a home. You can count on this math teacher to find the best deal and get the win. Call her for your real estate needs at 903-571-5882.
Don't wait on the sidelines watching other homeowners. Get in the game. Whether you're dreaming of buying a home or wanting to sell the one you have, the right coach will help you build a winning team. Start by giving your friendly and experienced East Texas Realtor a call today. I'm Brandy Messenbring with the Property Shop Group, eXp Realty, 214-394-9180.
So the Chapel Hill defense bends but doesn't break. And it's 13-0 here early in the second quarter. Tyson Berry and Deuce McGregor back to receive for Chapel Hill. And it's going to be a squid kick over here on this near side. And a host of Eagles bring down to Tyron Mumphrey.
Yeah, Mumphrey, yeah.
Chapel Hill will take over, trying to find any momentum in this ball game right now.
Really the only big play they had was the pass down to McGregor, was called back for the holding penalty. Besides that, everything they've done has been kind of small chunks.
You know, they had a pretty decent first drive, and this is kind of reminiscent of that playoff game last year. Chapel Hill came out, was able to move the ball that first drive, and then after that, really couldn't do much. Yeah. We'll see if they can do something here in this ball game. It's early here in the second quarter. Handoff to Ricky Stewart, the freshman. Freshman just bouncing off some tacklers and tackled at the 40-yard line.
Awkward tackle there.
Yeah, he was kind of tackled a little awkwardly.
So looks like he's okay. That's good. Nice run there. They still didn't give him a whole lot of room. He's very shifty and able to kind of like easily shift and move around would-be tacklers. So
gain of 8 brings up 2nd and 2. Jones going to keep it, trying to find some room. Stops, hesitates, and is tackled. Maybe shouldn't have made that one last move. Christian King.
That was a nice tackle. He was on his knees and just dove at Jones and made the tackle.
Jones kind of walked into the tackle a little bit.
I'm not sure what he was trying to do.
Loss of 2.
It's almost like he lost his footing a little bit.
Third and 4 now, and fake handoff. Jones downfield. Austin Watkins double coverage outside the reach of the outstretched arms of Watkins. Incomplete.
That was a tough play.
And the punt team's going to come on. So a 3 and out for this Bulldog offense. Hasn't found any rhythm.
We haven't had to say that a whole lot this year. The 3 and outs, not a whole lot of those this season for Chapel Hill. They've had several tonight. Lindale's defense is stepping up to the challenge.
We've seen this Chapel Hill team kind of have slow starts this season, and they've come out in the second half pretty tight, but his knee was on the ground. That's going to be a turnover on downs.
Man. Another mistake for the Chapel Hill offense.
So Chapel Hill defense going to have to come out and try to make another stop. Lindale has their ball in their own territory, or the Chapel Hill territory at the 29-yard line.
Coach Reardon's got to be scratching his head and wondering, man, we could have used a little bit of what happened last week this week, because it's not anything going right for Chapel Hill so far.
10:31.
And give credit to Lindale. They've come out to play today.
Handoff, Daniels near side, has a hole. Daniels trying to make something happen. Gets inside the 20-yard line, marked at the 17. I mean, they have this offensive line doing a great job for this Lindale team. And this offensive line has a lot of returning starters. I think 3 of these 5 offensive linemen are returning from that state championship season a year ago. So a lot of experience up front for this Lindale team. Peterson trying to pass, has a receiver, and it's incomplete. Out of the hands intended for Judson Long.
So Drew Harmon there on the coverage for the Bulldogs.
So 2nd and 10 now.
We're again in that
for Lindale.
That little spot in the field where, you still could hold them here, another field goal, and keep it a 2-score game if you're Chapel Hill, even as bad as they played. So let's see if they can do that or if Lindale can punch it in again.
Peterson near side with the ball. Tackled by Brack Dyer. Gain of a couple.
Big third down coming up here.
Swam in motion. Pass is complete.
They're going to get them the first down, I think. Just
and that's going to be right there at the first down marker. Kason Watts on the reception for the Eagles, and that's going to be a 1st and goal now for the Eagles, trying to put even more distance on the scoreboard. Daniels trying to find the end zone, reaches the 2-yard line. .8:45 remaining. Chapel Hill trying to do something here defensively, and the Lindale Eagles looking to add more.
Big package, only one receiver here.
Ball is fumbled, and Daniels falls on it, and they're fortunate that he falls on that one. The snap was high, and the handoff was just a little mishandled. But a fortunate position there to retain possession.
Yeah, Chapel Hill was diving for that one. It was very close to being recovered by the defense, but
it's going to bring up 3rd and 3. 3rd and goal from the 3 now.
It's one of the biggest plays of the game right here. We'll see if Lindale can do something with this possession.
Trying to find room and can't.
Nope, it's going to be.
Looks like Judson Long on the carry, and it's going to be short of about 2 yards, and it looks like the field goal unit's going to come back onto the field.
I mean, again, if you're Chapel Hill, you're just dodging bullets at this point. I mean, you set up Lindale a couple times, and you've gotten away with field goal attempts here, and we assume they're going to kick the field goal. Of course, you got the quarterback there.
You got to be careful here.
The quarterback is the holder.
Chapel Hill is kind of in a zone defense there, but the kick is good, so they add to the lead. 16-0 is our score. 7:16 remaining in the first half. Here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Big Mike's Billiards, proud sponsor of Chapel Hill basketball. With 25 years experience in the pool table moving and service industry, Big Mike's strives to ensure complete satisfaction. The quality and care he and his team put into every move and every service call is the highest standard of service in the industry. Big Mike sells and services some of the best pool tables available today. He is an expert at caring for and moving any type of billiard table, whether it's across the room or across the country. At Big Mike's Billiards, no pool table repair job is too big or too small. Whether your table needs new cushions, felt, or to be professionally aligned and leveled, Big Mike is the guy to trust. Call Big Mike today at 903-842-4499.
Tyson Berry and Alonzo McGregor back to receive for Chapel Hill. Freshman Seth Baggett's going to kick off for the Eagles. The Eagles enjoying a 16-0 lead. Javen Mayfield's going to catch it around the 25-yard line, and he is smacked right at the 33. That's where this Chapel Hill offense is going to try to come out and make something happen here.
A couple district scores here. Palestine 16, Maybank 13. 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Henderson up 21-7. 7 minutes left in the half. So Henderson and Palestine both up in the other two games.
.7-11 remaining in the first half. Tyler Jones and this offense come back out on the field trying to make something happen. 3 wide receivers on the top of your screen. Back to pass is Jones trying to find somebody open. Evades the rush. And is going to take off and get the first down. Going to be right at that marker.
It's a nice play by Jones, able to use his legs, extend the play. It was kind of the first time tonight he's able to get out of the pass rush of Lindale and escape, get outside. They weren't able to contain him that time.
And off Stewart. Stewart trying to find a spot. Tackled at the 49.
Chapel Hill with a little hurry-up offense trying to get something rolling here. So far this drive's been pretty successful. Almost into Lindale territory, just outside the 50. It's like a free play. Well, they blew it
See
dead.
if they call it offsides or false start.
It looked like Lindale moved, but did they get guilted in a move in there? We'll see what they call. Looks like they're pointing Lindale's direction, so I think it's going to be offsides.
Defense, number 99. That's a 5-yard penalty that was reserved and a first down.
So first down off the penalty for Chapel Hill, the first penalty of the night for the Eagles. That's one thing about this Lindale team. They are very fundamentally sound, and they don't get a lot of penalties, and that's huge.
When you don't make mistakes like that, it puts you ahead just right there.
Will snap. Ricky Stewart trying to find the edge. He's going to stay on his feet, tackled inside the 30-yard line. And this freshman Ricky Stewart has gotten most of the snaps the last 2 weeks.
And I was going to say, Logan, the first game of the season, he wasn't even on varsity. And he's worked his way every week. He's gotten more and more carries, and you can see his confidence gaining. And also what that does is that allows the other guys to play their other positions a little more and gives the team a little more depth.
First and 10, ball at the 28. Jones back to pass. Trying to complete his first pass of the day. Evades the rush. Throws it downfield and incomplete to Austin Watkins.
He had Deuce wide open in the end zone. He's waving his hands at him, they look for the ball. He was kind of in an awkward position there when he threw it, which caused him to overthrow Watkins, which is tough to do at 6'5". If you overthrow him, you're really have overthrown the ball quite a bit.
Second and 10 now. Kevin Brooks in at running back for Chapel Hill. Jones is going to keep it on the quarterback keeper and going nowhere. Bunch of Eagles there on the tackle. Brett Maya led the way.
He might have got one. Looks like they're going to give him just about 1 yard. So another
big third down here, 3rd and 9.
Yeah,
Chapel Hill just trying to get points on the board.
Yeah, if you're Chapel Hill, this is 4-down territory right here. So they're in that spot in the field. It's 2 plays for the first. Let's see what they call this one.
Jones rolls out to his right.
That's a flag. That was holding there.
It's going to be a hold on Chapel Hill.
Yeah, 57 for Chapel Hill had a hold of Lindale, and he just drug him all the way down. So that's
move him back.
Yeah.
Holding. Offense, number 57. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains third down.
Corey Johnson there on the hold for Chapel Hill is going to move him back, and this is not in the position you want to be now. Now it's 3rd and long.
Still think you're probably in, 4-down territory here when you're this part of the field. So if you're Chapel Hill, you don't have to get it all right here. We just want to get half or a good chunk of yards, make it a reasonable 4th down.
Jones looking to pass, looking left, fires downfield into double coverage, and it's off the hands of Levi Thornton in the end zone.
Something I'm seeing out there is the body language of Chapel Hill right now. They're getting frustrated. Some of the receivers are getting a little frustrated. They're just not on the same page. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Reardon can kind of get them on the same page for the second half.
Yeah, they're going to take a timeout. It's 5:18 remaining. Lindale leads 16-0. We'll be right back here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Big 4th down, and the Chapel Hill offense is still out there. Ball at the 37-yard line.
4th and 19.
And they're going to go for it. Jones out to pass. Jones trying to find some room. Jones tackled right at midfield. It's actually going to be at the 48.
That D-line of Lindale is just eating the Chapel Hill offensive line up all night. Jones is like in a straitjacket almost. He's usually able to be a little more shifty and get out, but he's just getting trapped in there. They're just getting such a good push.
The Lindale offense going to take over again. 5:10 remaining. Chapel Hill defense has been out on the field a lot tonight.
Yeah, way more than you'd want to be on defense if you're Coach Reardon. They need a stop of some sort, whether it's a punt, a fumble, a turnover of some sort.
Daniels with the carry. Smacked at the 43-yard line by Brack Dyer. That's a gain of 7 on the play. 8. Bring up.
It's a nice gain on 1st down for sure. Makes this a lot easier to manage with.
Daniels again on the carry. This time gain about 1. J.K. Davis there on the tackle.
It's a nice play by Davis.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and short.
This is an interesting play right here.
No, we've watched a lot of Lindale football, and they do such a good job. They run the ball so well, and they can run the play action right off of that action. And it's hard to play zone against this team because they can run the ball so well. It's hard to play man because their receivers are really good route runners. And the schemes, they're great for this team. See, 2 motion.
Always in motion.
Peterson going to try to get the 1st down himself, and he's going to get it. They're going to mark him at the 40.
And they gave it to him.
So, gain of about 1, but it's a 1st down.
And then the clock just continues to roll here.
3:45. $16-0's our score. Hand off to Daniels. Daniels trying to find some room. He's chopped down. Gain of about 1.
For a short gain. Tagged by number 7, J.K. Davis.
Gonna bring up 2nd and 9 now. And a good push there by the Chapel Hill defense. And
Patrick Daniels on the carry again.
Getting a little chippy out there right now.
Jatavian Watson.
Both teams hopefully can keep control here. We don't want this to get out of hand.
3rd and 9 now. It's a big play. 3rd and 9. Clock still running. It's 2:40 and clock is going now.
Yeah, Lindale's in no hurry.
And in motion again. Peterson back to pass. Has a man wide open. Siegfried
Oh, he just stepped out of bounds.
just stepped out. That's good enough for a first down inside the 10-yard line.
It's almost like the motion man distracted Chapel Hill. They thought he was going to go the short route. And then Siegfried just was left alone there. Sure can't leave him by himself.
Peterson with another quarterback run, finds the edge, and dives for the end zone. They're saying he's marked out at the 1.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think he might have got in, but it looked like he dove on top of another player and made his way in. Some of the Lindale fans not agreeing with that call either. We'll see if they're able to punch it in here.
Peterson dive across the top. Touchdown. Henderson or Lindale making a statement here. 22-0 in the first half of the number 4 team in the state. Peterson celebrating the touchdown, runs off the field, forgets he's got to hold the punt or to hold the kick.
Yeah, he forgot that. Oh.
Maybe false start, I think.
Yeah, Lindale lineman stood up.
It says offsides.
Offsides. Defense, number 50.
Wow.
So move them 6 inches?
Yeah,
move them
not far. They're going to move up basically 1 yard. They're going to move the T marker where they're going to hold the ball at. Oh.
Snap is high and down. So point after is no good, but Eagles lead 22-0 here with 2:05 remaining in the first half.
Here at Big Tex Homes, we are a real estate solution company committed to serving the needs of the people. We're here to help and solve all your real estate needs, whether that be buying, selling, foreclosure, tax liens, probate short sales, or maybe a landlord that doesn't know what to do with a property. If you need this help, call us today at 903-472-0220 or visit our website at www.bigtexhome.com.
There you go.
Seth Baggett will kick off
Sometimes
for the Eagles. And it's Tyson Berry, and Deuce McGregor ends up switching with Javen Mayfield here and gets the ball, but there's not a lot of room to work here. Stiff arms defender trying to make something happen.
Man, that was
gets across the 35.
It was awful close to going backwards, but he was able to get far enough over and actually made a decent return out of it.
So 1:56 remaining in this first half, and for Chapel Hill, they're not completely out of it. They do get the ball to start the second half, so if they can get a drive and score here and get the ball back to the second half, you might feel pretty good if you can make it a one-score game.
And we've seen so far this year, how many times have we seen them, Logan, less than a minute drives? They can do that. So, with the quick, potent guys that they've got, all they need is one play to get back into the game. But so far, Lindale has just not allowed them to do that tonight.
Lindale has been spectacular defensively. Jones back to pass. Has nowhere to go, tries to scramble, trying to find some room. He's going to get across the 40, 45, 50, pushed out of bounds. And good enough for a first down, so a first down run.
He's still got some yards there, but he's not getting a whole lot of time in the pocket like he's used to getting. So as good as Jones is in the pocket throwing the ball, he's having to do a little more scrambling outside the pocket than normal tonight.
146. I think that's going to be a delay of game. So that'll move them back 5. Move them back into their own territory. Jones back to pass, trying to find a man, throws it down to Tyson Berry, who makes the catch into the end zone.
Touchdown.
Tyson Berry,
wow.
A Chapel Hill touchdown.
There's that quick strike ability that we just talked about, Logan. Berry with the concentration and the great grab there. Nice throw by Jones. He had enough time that time to get the ball off in the pocket and was able to deliver the touchdown pass to Berry.
52-yard touchdown pass from Tyler Jones to Tyson Berry. And Chapel Hill's on the board for the first time tonight. Adolfo Tamayo is on to attempt the PAT. And it is good. 22-7. 1:36 remaining in the first half here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
That touchdown was sponsored by C&A Lawn Care, Hector Garcia and Company. Need mowing, trimming, landscaping, edging, haul-offs, sod sales, or sod installations? Give Hector a call, 903-714-6075.
Don't wait on the sidelines watching other homeowners. Get in the game. Whether you're dreaming of buying a home or wanting to sell the one you have, the right coach will help you build a winning team. Start by giving your friendly and experienced East Texas Realtor a call today. I'm Brandy Messenbring with the Property Shop Group, eXp Realty, 214-394-9180.
So the touchdown pass from Tyler Jones to Tyson Berry moves Chapel Hill a little bit closer. Adolfo Tamayo kicks off. And Lindale Eagles is going to start the ball at the 35-yard line. Judson Long on the return for the Eagles. And Judson Long is a guy that didn't play for this Lindale team last year. Wasn't a big factor. Coming in this year, he's a junior, and he's a guy that gets a lot of playing time and gets the ball a lot for this Lindale offense. A lot of the different guys receive the ball in this Lindale offense as they come back out with 1:31 remaining. Plenty of time on the board. They have 2 timeouts left. Daniels with the carry. Tackles made. Gain of about 4 yards.
It'll be interesting to see
the 40.
It'll be interesting to see what Lindale does here, Logan. If they're content with just going into the half with the lead as it is, or they burn a timeout or two and try to put some more points.
Doesn't appear that they're going to be happy with it. I mean, they go straight for it. And a great play there. Daniel Waddington comes in and gets a shot on Peterson. Peterson just smartly throws it away. What a smart heads-up play from the senior quarterback.
Yeah, he threw it up really high. It was hard to tell from here where it was going. I thought maybe it might be a wobbling duck, but he got enough on it to get it out of bounds. Great play there by the quarterback.
So 3rd and 6 with a minute 06 remaining in the first half. 3 wide receivers far side. Daniels in at the running back. Blitz appears to be coming, and Brack Dyer blows it up.
And I think Chapel Hill is going to get them a timeout right here and try to.
And they do. They get them a timeout.
Wow.
So it's going to be 4th and 6, and the clock's still running, but.
Yeah, they're going to have to fix that.
They call the timeout. We'll see what time.
I was thinking it was close to a minute. We'll see how much time they add.
Yeah, they called timeout pretty much immediately.
Timeout, Chapel Hill. That's their second of the half. Clock operator, please put 1:01 on the game.
All right, so they add 10 seconds to the clock, and that's probably about right where they called it. So it's going to minute 1, and the Lindale Eagles are going to most likely punt in this situation.
Now,
you probably want to punt it in this situation with the way your defense is played.
We've seen crazier things, but, yeah, I mean, Chapel Hill has a big strike offense, and the farther away from the end zone you can put them, the tougher it's going to be for that 1 or 2 play drive. So if you're Lindale, don't get cute here, I wouldn't think, and try to do something like that, because something backfires, they fumble it, or they get sacked. You've given Chapel Hill a short field with a minute to go in the half. I mean, I'm not a coach, but just me, I would punt the ball.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to do that. Sam Peterson back to punt. Solomon McFoy back to receive for Chapel Hill.
As good as their defense been, minus the one drive Chapel scored on, I mean, you just trust your defense.
Yeah, the Lindale defense has played great this first half. Peterson going to line it up. Good punt here. Bounces, and Chapel Hill's just going to get out of the way. And it's going to be spotted at the 21-yard line, so 48 seconds. Man, that punt took off a lot of clock.
Well, and that's the only thing about getting away from the ball when if you're Chapel Hill, because when you get away from it, Lindale's just going to let that thing roll till it completely stops. So they're able to eat up an extra 5 or 6 seconds there by just watching it roll.
So 48 seconds. The ball's at their own 21-yard line. We'll see what head coach Jeff Reardon and offensive coordinator Johnny Irvin has for this Bulldog offense.
I expect
McFoy in motion.
I expect a lot of pressure from Lindale.
And Tyler Jones going to try to make something happen and goes out of bounds at the 27. 8 seconds off the clock on that play.
Not a bad move by Jones. He evaded a lot of pressure. And just as I thought, Lindale's going to bring pressure. They've been bringing it all night, but they're really going to bring it right here. Force Jones out of the pocket, make him scramble with it, and hope he can't hit a receiver on the move.
2nd and 4 now. Pressure coming. Able to pick up the blitz. Jones trying to find something.
He's got nobody.
Throws it downfield and out of bounds.
Yeah, nice play by Jones. Way to get rid of it.
When you have the pressure that Lindale has up front and you're trying to let these routes develop downfield, I mean, it's really difficult. And Chapel Hill's going to take their final timeout. But when you have this offense that you're trying to get the ball downfield, it has to take time to get these routes to develop. And when you have the the pressure up front that this Lindale defense has been able to bring tonight, it's hard to try to make anything downfield happen.
Yeah, you're looking at running a 10 to 20-yard route at least, and then Tyler Jones is being forced to scramble 10 yards backwards trying to get away from the pressure. So now his guys are running away from him. He's running the other way, and then he's trying to wait for them to come back and just not able to find anybody. It's really what it comes down to. He's not able to sit in the pocket, let the guys run their route and hit him in stride. He's having to run the other way to get away from pressure. So I think that's been the key of this whole half is the Lindale front seven on defense has been able to put enough pressure on Jones and made him uncomfortable out there.
3rd and 4. 30 seconds. Barry in motion. Pressure coming. Jones, far side, and that's intercepted. Brett Maya on the interception, still on his feet inside the 20-yard line, and the clock never started.
Yeah, it was at 30 seconds, I believe, when they snapped it.
The clock never started, and the referees noticed it. I thought the referees pointed at it, and I think they're going to add.
They should be taking off at least 10 or 15 seconds off of that, I would think, on that play.
I mean, so that they're not going to take any time off the clock.
They're still talking about it, maybe.
Yeah,
they've got to take time.
They have to. The referee's stopping. He's going to say something because if that was the case, that was the quickest 1 second of my life.
Yeah.
Or the longest 1 second, of my life.
Yeah, because, I mean, they had time for Jones to drop back to pass.
Roll out, throw it.
Then Lindale intercepted it, and he ran, 10, 15 yards back.
Chapel Hill took their final timeout of the half at 30 seconds. Only 1 second ran off the clock on that last play. Clock operator, please put 25 seconds on the game clock.
Wow, I still think that's even a break.
Yeah, even then I think that's
a
5-second play. I don't think that was.
Man.
Yeah, so I guess 5 seconds off that, and that's gonna be big.
Yeah, it's a huge, an extra 5 or 6 seconds.
Coach Reardon, I could tell he was animating the play. He said he rolled out, he tried to do all this, and now Lindale's gonna start calling timeouts. They got 2 remaining, and they call one of their 2.
Got a halftime score. Henderson 24, Athens 14 at the half. Minute 13 left in Palestine. Palestine leads Maybank 23-19. So both pretty good matchups there in this district 9 4A Division I. Very competitive district, more competitive than I thought coming into the season it was going to be.
So this is going to be a crucial 20 seconds. Like I said, Lindale still has 1 timeout.
It's up 15. They could kick another field goal if they wanted to. Their kicker, I think, has the leg. Would put them up 3 scores. So I think if you're Lindale, you'd like a touchdown, but I think they'd be happy with the 3 points after thinking they might be a lot closer after Chapel Hill got the ball back.
Let's see what happens here and what offensive coordinator Matt Cochran has drawn up, him and his brother Chris, what do they have drawn up here on a 2nd and 4 with 20 seconds left after their timeout.
Oh.
And I think that's going to be a offsides.
Man, Chapel Hill moved. Now, did he move across or was he?
I think he was moving across. We'll see what they call, but this could be a first down.
Be a huge call.
Well,
he must not have moved across the line. So that's still a huge call. And you mentioned the brother connection. You got 2 brother connections because you have the Reardon brothers on Chapel Hill. So it's interesting, keeping coaching in the family, coaching with their siblings. Cool thing to be able to do.
Back to pass is Peterson trying to find the receiver. Finds him open in the end zone. Touchdown.
Wow. Swain was wide open. Brisbane was just trailing him.
Score now 29-7. 13 seconds remaining here in the first half here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Be the final couple plays here in the first half. Chapel Hill will receive the second half kickoff. But Lindale now up 22.
Fury and McGregor back to receive the kick from Baggett.
Let's see who they decide to kick to on this one. Barry and McGregor are back deep. They haven't kicked deep yet this game. And there's the squib kick. He does bounce back to McGregor. There are plenty of Lindale Eagles to stop him. He's going to try to find some space versus backfield. He's got plenty of space. Deuce McGregor trying to turn on the Jets. There's a flag on the play. McGregor, he's going to score, but there is a flag on the play. And it's going to be crack back block. It's going to be brought back on a penalty.
Man, talk about penalties affecting a player. I've never seen a player get things taken back as much as I've seen Deuce McGregor this year.
He's still one of the leading receivers in the East Texas, and he's had at least 5 or 6 touchdowns called back.
You're exactly right. That's at least that many. And then he had the play earlier, the big play. It wasn't a touchdown, but it was another big play. Just big play after big play, and they come all the way back.
Personal foul. Illegal blindside block on the return team. That's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. There is no time left on the clock. We will have one untimed down.
We'll have one untimed down. There's no time left on the clock. Like I said, it was a legal blindside block. And, on the return, Chapel Hill's had an issue with that all season long, is those illegal blindside blocks.
Well, when you do reverse field back and forth that many times, unfortunately, the likeliness of a penalty happening just kind of expands to a very high level because, the more you reverse field, it puts the defense or the kickoff team in a bad spot, and that just leads to those kind of blindside block plays a lot of times.
It'll be interesting to see what the play call is here. I wonder if it's just going to be a run play to try to get out of the half, or they're going to try to score. But, it would be see what they have.
It's got a Lindale player
way back deep.
Over midfield. He's like back for a punt almost.
We'll probably see if it's just going to be a run to get to the halftime. Oh, back to pass. Jones trying to step up, and he's sacked.
Kind of a telltale of the way the whole half has gone for Chapel Hill. Jones running for his life and getting taken down by that Lindale defense.
So that's going to be the end of the half. Lindale leads 29-7. We'll be back with the second half here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Welcome back to the second half of this District 9 4A matchup between the Lindale Eagles and the Chapel Hill Bulldogs. The Lindale Eagles, it was a wonderful performance to start this one for the Lindale Eagles. Could have not have asked for a better start for the Eagles as they're up 29-7 in this first half. And for Chapel Hill, you got to get something done offensively. And this has been kind of the theme between these two teams. Chapel Hill can't get going offensively, and they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. The last 5 games, Lindale's just had Chapel Hill's number 4 in a row. So 2 last year and then the 2 before that. And so if you're Chapel Hill right here, this is a big opening possession. We kind of talked about it over at the halftime break, and basically they haven't been able to move the ball much on this Lindale defense. So they're down 22 points, 3 scores, so this first possession is going to be huge for them going forward.
Seth Baggett is going to fake the kickoff, and it's going to just roll to Deuce McGregor. He has a little bit of a hole in the outside. Deuce McGregor across the 40, 45, 50, cross midfield, and a good return there for the junior. And he's going to get the ball inside of Bulldog territory, and he seems a bit shaken up.
Yeah, nice return there by Deuce.
And there's a couple of Bulldogs hurt on the field, and there's somebody else over there. And we'll take a break.
Here at Big Tex Homes, we are a real estate solution company committed to serving the needs of the people. We're here to help and solve all your real estate needs, whether that be buying, selling, foreclosure, tax lien, probate short sales, or maybe a landlord that doesn't know what to do with a property. If you need this help, call us today at 903-472-0220 or visit our website at www.
Player was able to get up off on his own power and get off the field, so good to see that as we start this second half. First play for Tyler Jones in this Chapel Hill offense. It's going to be a handoff to Ricky Stewart. Stewart has a little bit of a crease. Ricky Stewart trying to find the open space, and Ricky Stewart, there is a flag on the play. It's going to be a holding call. I'm almost 95% certain this is going to be holding.
Yeah, you got 2 or 3 guys from Chapel Hill hadn't moved. It's just kind of the theme for tonight for Chapel Hill. They've had several big plays like that and just penalties. Is that the 3rd touchdown call back tonight? Or second at least.
So it'll be first down. It'll be spot of the foul. So you're, I guess, going to move it about a yard because I think it was. Yeah, so they're going to move up a yard.
Wow.
Still first down, 1st and 10 now.
That's a tough earned yard there. Did you have the return at the end of the half called back?
The one big play to Deuce McGregor in that first half was the one that was called back. It wasn't a touchdown, but it was probably a 50-yard gain that was called back.
So that's basically 3. I mean, you've got that one, the kickoff return there at the end of the half that was called back, and then that one. So that's
Jones back to pass, trying to find some space. Jones steps up in the pocket. Going to run right at the sticks, and he's going to be pushed out around the 39-yard line, so about a yard short, and that's really been all they've had. I mean, thinking about it, they've had 1 completion? 1 or 2 completions.
Not many.
One for the touchdown, Tyson Berry, and I don't know if you have another completed pass all night.
It'll be interesting to see the stats on that, but I agree. I think there's only been at least if
this is
maybe
Kevin
2.
Brooks. Kevin Brooks across the 20, 10, gets to the end zone. Touchdown.
And there's
Chapel Hill.
There's no flags on the play.
No flags. So on the first possession, Chapel Hill comes out and scores. And that's exactly what Coach Reardon needed.
Yeah, it's a huge possession there for Chapel Hill. They needed their spirits lifted. You could just see in the first half they were just kind of all down and kind of discouraged. You know, this right here kind of give the defense a spark, and we'll see if they can keep the momentum on the defensive side.
Adolfo Tamayo's PAT up and good. And it's going to be 29-14, 11:24 remaining in the third quarter.
That touchdown was sponsored by C&A Lawn Care, Hector Garcia and Company. Need mowing, trimming, landscaping, edging, haul-offs, sod sales, or sod installations? Give Hector a call, 903-714-6075. Wooden Bean, your locally owned drive-through coffee shop, is centrally located in Chapel Hill, diagonally across from the high school. Priding themselves in providing exceptional service and amazing drinks. From your standard coffee to lattes to signature cold brews, they have something for everyone. Teas, light fare breakfast, and a Red Bull Fizz that would kickstart any morning. If you haven't been out to see them, today is the day. Can't miss them. They're in the blue shipping container, and their baristas are looking forward to fixing up something just for you. Come on in and drive through.
Chapel Hill scores on their first possession of this half, and Adolfo Tamayo just slams this one into the back of the end zone. So no chance at all.
No chance. That's what they had to return that kick.
So here comes this Lindale offense. Sam Peterson, the senior quarterback, had a rushing touchdown, had a passing touchdown in that first half, and played pretty well. Had the one fumble, but didn't amount to anything for Chapel Hill. So that's really been the only mistake that the senior quarterback has made, and here he trots out on the field, starting this offensive possession at the 25-yard line.
Interesting to see how Chapel Hill defense responds to their offense getting a touchdown.
Siegfried in motion, and there is a penalty.
It's going to be
delay a game.
Delay a game. Okay.
So it's going to bring him back 5.
That's one you don't see on the first possession of the series very often.
Only the second penalty for the Eagles.
That's really been a big factor right now. I mean, you got to talk about penalties, and Lindale has only had a couple there, and Chapel Hill's had some big ones against them. Really hurt them.
1st and 15 now at the 20. Patrick Daniels is going to be the decoy. Peterson almost gets the first down back.
I think he got it.
I think he got it.
Yeah.
15-yard keeper for the quarterback, and that's good enough for an Eagle first down.
Nice fake there. He's very good at that little pull-out play.
That's just practice and practice, practice. Siegfried in motion. Throws it out to Siegfried. That's the first time they've run this play, and it goes nowhere. That's Drew Harmon on the far side who makes the tackle for Chapel Hill. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Siegfried's been, as much as he's been moving around, he hasn't done a whole lot tonight. He had to have that one big catch. He stepped out before he scored in the second quarter. But
so loss of 1, they'll say, 2nd and 11. Now Swam's in motion. Cuts back across the formation. Peterson has lead blockers. Peterson finds a hole, lowers his helmet, gains a nice play there. Gain of about 9 on the carry for the quarterback. Peterson does a really good job of just running forward. Doesn't do a ton, finds a little bit of a crease, and then
that's kind of what I was saying earlier.
Runs forward.
Nothing fancy, just follows his blocks, runs the play, tucks the ball in too. Does a good job of protecting it.
3rd and 3 for the Lindale Eagles. Blitz coming. Daniels has some space, tripped up.
Man.
Solomon McFoy tripped him up right at midfield, and he's going to fall to the 46-yard line. So now the ball inside Bulldog territory.
Could have been a touchdown-saving tackle by McFoy at the ankles, because he had some room.
This Chapel Hill defense coming into the game has caused forced some turnovers. Of course, this game had the one fumble recovery, and this would be a great time for that Bulldog defense. The way this offense is running, Daniels with the carry, gain of about 2. Maybe, they'll call him about a yard, maybe 2 on the play, so I think it'll be 2nd and 8 now.
Yeah, Lindale's just kind of lulling Chapel Hill to sleep. I'd expect them to pull that ball out and throw the ball here at some point, because Chapel Hill is really loading it up front.
Peterson on then around. Gain of a couple. Jatavian Watson.
Sam Peterson on the carry.
There on the
Number 10,
carry and gains about 2 yards there. Now it's about 3rd and 6.
Yeah,
Big play here for both teams.
Yeah, and they're in an interesting spot in the field where they could choose to go for it if they don't get it on this play, being kind of in no man's land here. Oh,
that's
nice
Daniels.
block.
Has a huge hole. Daniels inside the 10-yard line.
Nice.
And there's a flag, so it might be holding on Lindale on the far side.
So it'd be a big penalty right here.
Yeah, I believe that's what it's going to be, because there was only the wide receiver on that far side, so this one's going to come back.
Yeah.
That's a huge penalty.
Yeah. Because now you're going to be 3rd and long.
Holding. Offense number 11. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. Remains 3rd down.
And Chapel Hill now has a chance to put Lindale in a punting situation if they were able to make the stop here. Depending on how many yards Lindale picks up on this play, could force them to punt.
Big penalty there. Backs them up in their own territory. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 15, 16 maybe. Chapel Hill showing pressure. They're sending it. Little screen pass. Caught by Swam and big hit by J.K. Davis.
Davis with a big hit. We've seen him do that several times this season.
And it looks like the punt unit's going to come out for the Lindale Eagles. So a good play there. Also a good play there by Kevion Huddleston. Just tried to – the screen came straight to him, and he just slowed him down just a little bit before he had help.
He just contained him there, just kind of let him kind of stop and hesitate. And then Davis just came out of nowhere and just
4th
hit
and
it.
11, the punt off from Peterson. This is a high punt spiraling. And this is going to – what a great punt there inside the 10-yard line. Going to be down at the 6.
Well, they're going to make them earn it here. If Chapel Hill is going to score this possession, they're going to need to go almost the whole length of the field to do so.
This is similar to what happened in that first half. Lindale had a great punt, had pinned the Bulldogs back, and ended up with a safety on the play. $7:15 remaining in the third quarter. Chapel Hill offense trying to claw back into this game. Hand off to Stewart. Gain of about 3, and the flag comes flying from that this back referee. I mean, he threw that 30 yards.
It was a nice throw.
And probably going to be holding. So should be holding on this possession right here, and it's going to back Chapel Hill up. Well, the referees are talking a lot.
Yeah, they're really discussing it.
Oh, no, the referee just had to go pick up his flag that he threw 30 yards. All right, block in the back there. So it's going to be ball at the 4-yard line.
Good news for Chapel Hill, they couldn't go much farther back.
Didn't negate a touchdown.
Yeah. Still first down, and is that 11? So
1st and 11. Pass out to McGregor. Screen pass. Got blockers in front of him. McGregor gets a nice gain there of about 7.
I would like to see Chapel Hill try to negate Lindale's pressure by some screens like that. They're a very good screen team, but they haven't run very many. We kind of talked about a half, so it'd be interesting to see if they try to run a few more of those to try to negate that pressure.
Stewart with the carry. Cuts upfield. Ricky Stewart has some room, and he's going to be taken across the 30-yard line. Ricky Stewart, the freshman, has some wheels on him, and he was able to get across the 30. They're going to spot him at the 32-yard line. Good enough for a Chapel Hill first down.
Nice run by Stewart. Gets him out of their own end zone there.
Jones back to pass. Stewart picks up the blitz. Jones trying to find somewhere to go, and just this pursuit of the Lindale team. That's something that they do so well. Is they, even if they miss the sack the first time, they are right back up pursuing, and Jones trying to spin around and just runs into the defender.
Yeah, he hit a couple circle buttons with the spin, like the old Madden, and then just ran into two Lindale guys.
So that's a big loss on first down, a loss of 8 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 18. Brooks on the outside. He's got some space. Kevin Brooks has a lot of space down the sideline and hit around the 49. Levi Thornton put the hammer on him there, knocked him out of bounds. Great hit there by Thornton, the safety.
Not until Brooks was able to pick up that first down. It's a big first down pickup. After that sack, forced him back a little bit.
5:25 remaining as the clock stops with the out-of-bounds play. Fumble on the play. Jones trying to make something happen. Sidesteps a little bit, gets back to the line of scrimmage in a game of about 4. So a good play there by Tyler Jones, just trying to make something happen.
Wow. Best 5 yards I've seen all night. That could have been disastrous right there. He could have just lost the ball and give it right back to Lindale, but somehow was able to gather himself and pick up 5 yards.
Nowhere to go.
Lindale brought the blitz.
Nowhere to go. Offensive line, no answer there.
Yeah, they brought the blitz from the left side there, and there was nobody there to block. The right tackle didn't see it, wasn't able to pick it up.
Third and 9. Big possession for this Bulldogs team.
Yeah, you don't
down 15 right now, trying to make it even closer.
Here comes the blitz up the middle.
Jones trying to find somewhere, and there's a holding penalty.
Oh.
There's some
extracurricular flag. We'll see how that shakes out. It's like a couple of linemen kind of got on top of each other and got stuck.
We have 2 flags on the play. I think one might be holding, and then the other is going to be for the personal foul. We'll see who it's on, or if they'll. A lot of times in these situations, throw it on both teams.
Yeah. It was hard to tell from up here what exactly was going on. It just appeared that 2 guys were stuck kind of on top of each other, and neither one wanted to budge. So you're right, usually on those kind of plays, if it is something where it's on both players, they usually just will kind of negate each other.
But the holding penalty, which I'm assuming is coming, is not going to be negated. So that's going to bring, if that is the call, it's going to push Chapel Hill back even further. Long discussion here.
Then if you're Lindale, do you decline the penalty and make it 4th down?
Yeah, 4th and 9.
Yeah, or do you make them take the penalty backwards and and give them an extra down. That's an interesting decision.
Everyone here is awaiting the calls.
Well, they've come over to the Lindale sideline, and the refs are discussing the call with the Lindale coach. So
a lot of discussion here. We've kind of hit a lull here. 4:07 remaining. Lindale still leads 29-14. But for Chapel Hill, hey, this is more points tonight than they scored on Lindale all season last year.
Yeah.
And it still hasn't been a good night offensively.
No, they haven't. They've struggled offensively. I'd say this has been Tyler Jones's toughest game so far. He's been forced into some situations he's not used to seeing, and he's really struggled tonight.
Well, Chapel Hill came into this game 5-0 with wins over Greenville, Livingston, Hallsville Center, and last week against Athens in their district opener.
There are 3 fouls on the play. 1 live ball and 2 dead ball. Holding. Offense number 57. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. It will remain 3rd down. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 57 of the offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 51 of the defense. Those penalties offset. It's 3rd down.
Okay.
So they move them back 10 yards.
So they will take the penalty, and just like you thought, Logan, two guys, they just called it on both players. Usually the best way to go there, unless you just see a definite instigator. And they took the penalty, so now Chapel Hill has technically 2 downs. If they don't do very much here, you'd have to imagine they're not going to go for it unless they're able to pick up some substantial yardage. I guess they're going to.
Well, Coach Reardon's talking to the referee.
I guess he's wanting some explanation. He's thinking that maybe it should have been.
All right,
just
we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Aaron Murphy with Century 21 is on your team assisting with buying or selling a home. You can count on this math teacher to find the best deal and get the win. Call her for your real estate needs at 903-571-5882.
Don't wait on the sidelines watching other homeowners. Get in the game. Whether you're dreaming of buying a home or wanting to sell the one you have, the right coach will help you build a winning team. Start by giving your friendly and experienced East Texas Realtor a call today. I'm Brandy Messenbring with the Property Shop Group, eXp Realty. 214-394-9180.
A big 3rd down. The crowds, both crowds on their feet. And the atmosphere here in this district game is palpable right now. 3rd and 28. Jones back to pass, and they're going to blow the play dead. It's false start. So Chapel Hill will move back even more.
Not.
So this is going to be even more. The penalties for Chapel Hill. We're probably in double-digit penalties for Chapel Hill. I know there's been 2 on Lindale. And, that's something that I noticed in the 2 games last year. Lindale's just a disciplined team. Roll out, trying to find some space, spinning, and nowhere to go. Nowhere to go.
Really just been the story of tonight. Lindale's defensive pressure up front.
So they'll bring on the punt unit. Tyler Jones going to punt it. Pretty decent punt. And they're going to let it roll. And it's going to die at about the 36-yard line. Mark is at 37. That's where Lindale's going to take over. That last possession took a while.
Yeah. For Chapel Hill, it took a while, and then you didn't get anything out of it. So that's the big thing. Lindale's fine with that, taking all that time and not giving up any points.
So here comes the Eagle offense. Has able to move the ball downfield on that last possession, but no points. And Daniel's going to keep it on that far side, and he goes nowhere.
Patrick Daniels for no gain.
Got a district score update for you. In the fourth quarter, 9 minutes left, Maybank 33, Palestine 23. And Henderson leads Athens 38-27. 1 minute 53 left in the third quarter.
Hand off to Daniels. He sidesteps and is able to gain a couple. Nice play there by the sophomore. Nice little sidestep, just evades the defender and gains a couple. Could have been met no gain. Ended up gaining 4 yards on the play.
It's a big down right here. Third down.
3rd and 6. The clock's still running. There's a minute 40 and counting here in the third quarter. Hand off to Daniels on the far side, and he's going nowhere. Actually loses 2 yards. So big possession for the defense. And this Chapel Hill defense is keeping this game.
Yeah,
keeping Chapel Hill in the game.
When we talked about it up front in the very beginning, the difference in the Chapel Hill defense, and you're seeing it right here. Last year, in this kind of game, Chapel Hill would have been in trouble because the defense was having trouble making stops. They're picking up stops, and even when they're not stopping them from scoring, they've stopped them on a couple of field goals. They're huge.
Peterson's punt. This one's spiraling in the air. And it's into the end zone for a touchback. Sam Peterson, man, he's got a leg.
Yeah, he's a great punter. It's nice to have your quarterback as being able to punt. Kind of gives some extra wrinkles that you can throw out there sometimes.
So 48 seconds in the third quarter. Chapel Hill down 15.
And we keep harping on it, but they're still in this game with their quick strike ability. I mean, as much as Lindale shut them down, it's only going to take 1 or 2 big plays. And this game is back to being right there close.
2 wide receivers both sides for the Chapel Hill offense. Handoff goes back to Ricky Stewart, and he gains about 1 on the play.
Yeah, not much room there for Stewart.
Ricky Stewart for a short game, tackled by number 55, Keelan Miller.
Pass out. Deuce McGregor trying to find some space. Gains about 4 on the play. Bring up a big third down.
It's just going to roll over into the fourth quarter here.
So it's, fourth quarter on deck. 29-14. Lindale leads here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Big Mike's Billiards, proud sponsor of Chapel Hill basketball. With 25 years experience in the pool table moving and service industry, Big Mike's strives to ensure complete satisfaction. The quality and care he and his team put into every move and every service call is the highest standard of service in the industry. Big Mike sells and services some of the best pool tables available today. He is an expert at caring for and moving any type of billiard table, whether it's across the room or across the country. At Big Mike's Billiards, no pool table repair job is too big or too small. Whether your table needs new cushions, felt, or to be professionally aligned and leveled, Big Mike is the guy to trust. Call Big Mike today at 903-842-4499.
Start the fourth quarter, 3rd and 5 now for the Chapel Hill Bulldogs. With the ball at the 25. Jones keeps it, trying to find some space, and he's taken down. Brett Maya takes him down. Loss of about 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down, and punt unit's going to come on the field. Not what you wanted. Another 3 and out.
Yeah, Jones, he was going forward, and then he decides to try to get cute and try to make a play and went backwards and lost yardage. It's not a very good move there by Jones. Now he's going to be called upon to punt. And you can't imagine that Chapel Hill is going to have too many more chances to stay in this game.
And they're going to call a timeout because there's about to be a delay of game. So, overall, this all-time series, Lindale leads 20-19. They got the series all-time series lead last year with the 2 wins, and this is a very close series. I mean, every single time it's been close. Tonight, Chapel Hill's trying to claw back into it. 29-14. And this is a big game. I mean, you know, coming into this season, Lindale was Dave Campbell's preseason to win the district, but kind of fell a little bit early in the season. But, I mean, it's a good competition.
Yeah, you're starting to see that because they're showing tonight that the games they lost were to good teams. You're seeing it.
Yeah, they lost to Kaufman, Van, and Gilmer. Those 3 teams are combined 20-4 on the year.
2 of them are state ranked.
Yeah.
So
Gilmer's number 2, and their only loss came to number 1 Carthage last week. Punt from Tyler Jones. This is a good kick, and Maya takes it.
Nice hit there by Brooks.
Tackled at the 39, so no gain on the return.
Brett Maya tackled by number 9, Isaiah Brooks. Eagles take over on the 39-yard line, 1st down.
This is going to be an important possession for both teams right here. If you're Lindale, you want to continue to do what you've been doing. Lean on your quarterback, Peterson, to make the decisions, keep or to hand off, and just to chug away the clock. If you're Chapel Hill, you want to make the stop as quickly as you can and get your offense back on the field.
So empty far side, that's where Peterson's going. He just trucks, keeps moving. Peterson finds a hole, across the 30, 25, push, just goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line. They emptied that part of the field, and he ran right there.
Peterson needs to take his offensive lineman out to eat after this game. They're putting a hole out there. He's just putting his head down behind those guys and breaking the hole and running for big gains. I've been impressed by his running.
Daniels trying to find some space up in the middle, and there's going to be a flag. Probably going to be holding in this spot.
Didn't see Peterson run a whole lot last year, but I guess when you have Jordan Jenkins,
you don't have to.
There's no need to, but I've been really impressed with him tonight. Probably my biggest surprise for Lindale. I knew their defense was going to be good, but the legs of Peterson, I'd be willing to bet he's probably got over 100 yards on the ground tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, he's probably around there. Yeah, Jordan Jenkins last year, he has over 1,000 more yards than the second leading rusher in Lindale history.
That's impressive.
Brack Dyer makes the stop on the play as Daniels tries to find some room over here on the near side.
And I'm just curious, has he played this year at Baylor?
He is not.
Okay.
Not that I am aware of. He has not played yet.
Okay.
Might be redshirting this year.
I hadn't seen a Baylor game yet, but I was just curious.
Baylor got the big win last week against Iowa State.
Yeah, they've moved in the top 25, I believe.
Second, 17, trying to find space in the throwing game, and it's incomplete.
Ooh.
Lindale's looking for a pass interference, but he was being hit at his throw, and it was kind of high, so I guess they'll say it was uncatchable, but the Lindale coaching staff not happy with the no call on that one. Bring up third now, third down.
Yeah, Brooks may have gotten away with one there. He was a little bit rough on the receiver, but no penalty thrown, so he got away with it.
Daniels handoff far side, has plenty of space. Can't get to the first down marker. Still quite a bit short, but we'll bring up fourth down, and in this situation, you're probably going to go for it.
Yeah,
and it looks like the Lindale offense will.
It really just depends on what kind of kicker you have. You would, if you kick the field goal here, it would be 18, which would be 3 scores.
It's their freshman kicker, Seth Baggett. He's gonna stay sitting on the sideline as they're gonna go for it here on 4th and 7.
We'll see what Peterson and company has.
And the Bulldog 23.
They're gonna throw.
They're gonna throw, and it is caught.
Wow.
At the 4-yard line.
They haven't thrown a lot. They haven't thrown a lot tonight, Logan. But when they have, it's been a big play.
Evan Alford there brings up 1st and goal. .856. Lindale trying to put in the dagger. Daniels walks into the end zone. And a flag's thrown.
Yeah, that's going to be on Chapel Hill. Not necessary there. Watson was frustrated and just threw the Lindale player down, so he's going to get a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 10. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the succeeding kickoff.
35-14. 3-score game now with 8:49. Baggett's point after is good. 36-14. Lindale leads the number 4 team in the state here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Patrick Daniels' second rushing touchdown of the day, the 4-yard touchdown. Brings a 36-14 lead for the Lindale Eagles. And with the penalty, they're going to kick off at the 45-yard line. And they're just going to kick this one into the end zone. You know, I'm going to be honest. when you get a 15-yard penalty, I never understand. I feel like people usually kick it into the end zone, and I'm like, why not try to get it to the you got the 15 yards. Try to pooch kick it and make something happen, I guess.
Or even
I don't know.
if you onside kick it, it's not like you lose a whole lot.
In this game, a little bit, it's a little different. But I've noticed that sometimes in high school they kick it in the end zone, and they're done with it.
So we got a score update. Maybank 33, Palestine 30. A minute 25 to go.
So good game down there.
Henderson's now pulled away 51-27. 8:59 left in the game there. So that's going to be Henderson's going to start their district season at 1-0. Looks like join Kilgore, who's off this week.
Barry with the end around, trying to find some space. Has a little bit of a crease. Tackled at the 35-yard line.
Nice pickup by Barry. It's going to pick up the first down.
Tripped up by number 14, Michael Shannon.
At this point, if you're Chapel Hill, you want to try to work on some things in late game situations here.
I say you try to go hurry up. Try to
do some no huddle.
Work on no huddle stuff and see what happens. Another end around to Solomon McFoy. Has a little bit of space. McFoy gets the first down. That end around plays worked most of the time that they've run it tonight.
Yeah, they ran it a couple times early in the game. It worked. Opening drive, I believe, and this time as well. Unfortunately for them, they don't have a whole lot of time to work with. These chunks of yards, Lindale's okay with giving up, 5 or 10 yards at a time. It's the big plays that they want to avoid. So
under 8 minutes now in this game. Little end around this way to Tyson Berry. Has a lead blocker, and a great play there made by Ryan Stanton, chasing Berry from behind. And there is a penalty, so I think this is going to be on Chapel Hill, another holding call.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Huddleston out here on the outside. Yep. Another example of things that have hurt Chapel Hill tonight. They make a big play, and then it just gets called back by a careless penalty.
So first and 10, or first and 20, I guess now. Ball on the 38-yard line. Blitz coming.
Picked up.
And Jones runs right into the rush.
Man, there's just not much else you can say about this Lindale front seven.
And it looks like Tyler Jones going to come off the field, and the freshman Demetrius Bripson going to come in at quarterback.
At this point, why not? Jones has had a rough night. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, so you give the freshman a chance to get some snaps, see what he can do.
Bripson going to find some space on the outside. Nice little run there on second down. Of course, it's second and forever. The Bulldogs have to get to the Lindale 44 to get a first down. They're at their own 39. Third and 20. Bripson back to pass. Hasn't done this much this year. Airs it out. Deuce McGregor trying to find it, and it's incomplete. Michael Shannon there on the defensive play for the Eagles. Made a good play on the ball, just couldn't come up with it, and he's shaking his head.
It's a nice throw.
He felt like he should have had it.
Yeah, nice throw by the freshman. Just tough play there with double coverage. Would have been a tough one for Deuce to come down with.
And on fourth down, let's see. what Chapel Hill decides to run at this point. You pretty much have to go for it.
I don't know what you'd have to lose here at this point. I mean,
4th and 20.
they did put Jones back in the game, probably since they want to throw. He's a little bit better thrower than Gibson.
Nowhere to go, and it's incomplete. So Lindale's going to take over after the turnover on downs. Up 22 points with this game pretty much in hand. And they're probably just going to try to run the clock. Peterson on the carry. Gain of 8.
Well,
So they're just going to run this clock as much as they can.
So we talked about coming in that throw away those records. Coming into this as they're both 1-0 in district, and Lindale proved that tonight. They were just the better team. If you're Chapel Hill, you just got to take this one, learn from it, and move forward. Still got lots of games left in this tough district of doom.
Hand off Daniels. Swallowed by a bunch of Bulldogs. No gain. For Lindale, they actually travel to Henderson next week to play the Lions, who will look likely to move to 1-0 in the district. They got Henderson and then Athens next. For Chapel Hill, they will be at home against Palestine next week, and then we'll have to travel to Kilgore the following week.
Don't get a night off unless you're the team with a bye.
Right.
That's the only time you get a night off in this district.
Chapel Hill, of course, they get the bye last. They get that last week before the end of the regular season. They're the one team that gets it that final week before the last regular season game. Daniels has a huge hole, gets the first down, and that's good enough for a Lindale Eagle first down, and we have an injured player, so we are going to take a break.
Here at Big Tex Homes, we are a real estate solution company committed to serving the needs of the people. We're here to help and solve all your real estate needs, whether that be buying, selling, foreclosure, tax lien, probate short sales, or maybe a landlord that doesn't know what to do with a property. If you need this help, call us today at 903-472-0220 or visit our website at www.bigtexhome.com.
Clock will run, and this is most likely the last possession of the game here with 3:54, and it looks like Lindale's going to take all the time on the play clock.
Yeah, at this point.
Peterson's over here on the sideline, not even finally at 20 seconds he's going to go give the play call.
Yeah, there's no need for either team at this point to try to do too much. You don't want to get another careless injury here at the end of the game.
Handoff to Daniels, and he's going to move up the middle. Moves it to the 21. I mean, this was a great performance from the Lindale Eagles. They came out here, executed on offense, played well defensively, bottled up Tyler Jones and all the receivers, all the weapons that Chapel Hill have. Lindale has done a phenomenal job.
Well, that's the thing.
Bottling those.
Well,
they
bottled Jones. So if they do that, he can't get to the weapons. So if he can't get the ball over to McGregor and Watkins and McFoy and Barry, if he can't get the ball to them, then they can't beat Lindale. And that's kind of what their game plan, it seemed like to me from up here, is they were going to put enough pressure on Jones where he had to scramble, make his own play instead of being able to get to his weapons, which worked to perfection tonight. So you got to now, if you're Chapel Hill, you're going to have to make some adjustments. People are going to see this on film. Now you've got to be able to play this style.
Peterson keeps it. Bunch of Bulldogs there on the tackle. We're under 2 minutes now. It's going to bring up 4th down.
So I'm Palestine next week. I'm bringing a lot of pressure on Jones. I mean, you see it on now Lindale's defense. I mean, those are some big boys up there, great players. So we'll see the difference, but it's just one of those nights.
Minute 25 remaining. Play clock now at 5. Daniels on 4th and 4. Doesn't get it. So Chapel Hill will have one more possession in this game. Lindale defense trots out onto the field. And they've played so well tonight. Pressure up front has been a big factor, as we said, and this Lindale defensive front has been phenomenal.
Yeah, and they're still out there. I think that's still the starting guys out there, at least some of them, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, it looks like most
point.
of them are.
It's kind of surprising at this point in the game that they would still be out there, but I guess they're going to let them finish the game off.
Minute 13 remaining. Freshman quarterback Demetrius Bribson going to be in the gun for Chapel Hill. Barry in motion. He gets the handoff, trying to find some space. Reverses field, trying to find something. Makes a little bit of a move. Gain of about 5, still going.
Oh, made it up
Gain
to
of
almost,
about 8.
Yeah. That was a lot of running for 8 yards, but nice play by Barry. And even when Chapel Hill's made yards tonight, if you notice, Logan, it's been hard yardage. Lindale's cutting them off, making them cut back and forth around the field, and it's just been tough. You run 25 yards to get 8.
45 seconds remaining in the ball game. Bribson cuts upfield. Demetrius Bribson cross midfield. The freshman on a good play there.
Yeah,
we haven't seen Bribson. He's come in spells this year, but we haven't seen him throw the ball a ton. I don't know if that's just trying to make sure, because he is a starting safety. He's a starting safety for this Chapel Hill defense.
Yeah.
17 seconds. Clock is still running. This could be the last play of the game, and it's going to be a false start.
And that'll be, will that be a runoff if they don't take a timeout?
Let's see what the call is. I think they're going to say, yeah, Chapel Hill is going to take a timeout.
Yeah, they'll have to. Otherwise, they'll have a runoff, I believe.
Offense number 3. For under 1 minute. That foul qualifies for a 10-second runoff, which Chapel Hill has called their second time out of the half to avoid. Timeout, Chapel Hill.
So they'll call timeout, but that's just to avoid the
Yeah, they're not going to
avoid it. They're not see if they decide to huddle. No, they're saying stay out there. They're not.
Lindale said they're taking the timeout, though. They're not.
So it'll be the final play of the game. And this one, all Lindale. Ripson back to pass. Airs it out. And it's going to be incomplete. And that will be the ball game. That's going to be the game. So Chapel Hill and Lindale both will move to 1-1 in district play.
No, Lindale will be 2-0.
2-0, yes. Excuse me, 2-0 in district play for the Lindale Eagles. Chapel Hill will move to 1-1. 5-1 overall. Lindale moves their record to 3-3. 3-3 overall. With the final score, Lindale 36, Chapel Hill 14. You've been watching Texas high school football here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Here at Big Tex Homes, we are a real estate solution company committed to serving the needs of the people. We're here to help and solve all your real estate needs, whether that be buying, selling, foreclosure, tax lien, probate short sales, or maybe a landlord that doesn't know what to do with a property. If you need this help, call us today at 903-472-0220 or visit our website at www.bigtexhome.com.
That touchdown was sponsored by C&A Lawn Care, Hector Garcia and Company. Need mowing, trimming, landscaping, edging, haul-offs, sod sales, or sod installations? Give Hector a call, 903-714-6075. Wooden Bean, your locally owned drive-through coffee shop, is centrally located in Chapel Hill, diagonally across from the high school. Priding themselves in providing exceptional service and amazing drinks. From your standard coffee to lattes to signature cold brews, they have something for everyone. Teas, light fare breakfast, and a Red Bull fizz that would kickstart any morning. If you haven't been out to see them, today is the day. Can't miss them. They're in the blue shipping container, and their baristas are looking forward to fixing up something just for you. Come on in and drive through.
Aaron Murphy with Century 21 is on your team assisting with buying or selling a home. You can count on this math teacher to find the best deal and get the win. Call her for your real estate needs at 903-571-5882.
Don't wait on the sidelines watching other homeowners. Get in the game. Whether you're dreaming of buying a home or wanting to sell the one you have, the right coach will help you build a winning team. Start by giving your friendly and experienced East Texas Realtor a call today. I'm Brandy Messenbring with the Property Shop Group, eXp Realty. 214-394-9180.
Big Mike's Billiards, proud sponsor of Chapel Hill basketball. With 25 years experience in the pool table moving and service industry, Big Mike's strives to ensure complete satisfaction. The quality and care he and his team put into every move and every service call is the highest standard of service in the industry. Big Mike sells and services some of the best pool tables available today. He is an expert at caring for and moving any type of billiard table, whether it's across the room or across the country. At Big Mike's Billiards, no pool table repair job is too big or too small. Whether your table needs new cushions, felts, or to be professionally aligned and leveled, Big Mike is the guy to trust. Call Big Mike's today at 903-842-4499.